So today's a special taping for a special day because we are celebrating our 13th birthday at the Shala, our 13th year of being a community. If you followed our teachings last week, being a lightning bug in our mangrove tree. So we'll be doing a special puja today at the end of class, and wanted to extend that to all the wonderful people we consider part of our extended family through this channel, and kind of go over the ritual so all of you can do this at your own home, to do this with us as well today. So puja means what? Sanskrit word that means, I think Rave said something.
Celebration.
Yeah, it's like a celebration, it's a ceremony, it's a ritual. We don't have an exact English equivalent, but during my time in India, I really enjoyed, there's always a puja in India at the temples. There's like some god's birthday, or you're celebrating your own, marriage, birthday, whatever, some reason to have a ritual. And I've kind of adopted that myself, and I've always looked for reasons to have celebrations and rituals and to have pujas, because I believe it is so important that in our busy lives and the pace that we all go at, and our habitual habits and the things that we do, that we stop and make time to reflect and to be grateful and to set intention. And that is what the pujas here at Pacific Ashtanga are all about, those three things. And I want you to think of the anniversary. Of course, I've had t-shirts made of a big 13 on the back of my back to celebrate that we've been a community. We've been practicing together for 13 years, which is amazing. Some years more than others, and really beautiful. But really the celebration for me is for each one of you to celebrate this as your yoga birthday, to celebrate this as your Ashtanga birthday, or your Pacific Ashtanga birthday, or your birthday with me. So we think of our practice when we talk about having a practice, my practice, is something I have a relationship with, something that I've had a relationship for over 20 years. I've had a relationship with this practice, and it's something to reflect on. I think about celebrating a birthday. We have our birthday, and we have fun with making wishes and setting intention and celebrating life, celebrating our life. And I was using Jamie and Sabrina as an example this week that. How long have you guys been married? 25 years they have been married. And so when you have your anniversary, you celebrate that you found each other. You celebrate that you can share life together, and maybe you look back over years past, and so you're grateful, and you spend time reflecting. And maybe, as a couple, you might even set goals on your anniversary, like, hey, this year let's go on a date once a week, or this year let's make a trip somewhere special, or you guys always do that. So I want you to think of the same with your practice, that this is your anniversary, and I want you to think of when you first started. So we're going to use the flower for that, and this is going to be your gratitude flower. So when you hold this, you're just going to sit with the day you found your practice. Maybe for me it felt like coming home to something. Even though I'd never done it before, I felt like, this is familiar. This feels so right. Sometimes, like when you meet a person, you feel that way about them, like, gosh, haven't I known you forever? Like, you feel that way with your practice, and you can be grateful for things within your practice, for this community, for our relationship, but also practice for us is always outside of this door. So what we do for an hour and a half today is going to be all about how you take that practice into your life. So maybe celebrating your life since you've been practicing, in specific aspects of your life that you're reflecting on today, and just fill your mind in the petals of this flower with gratitude. And place it on the altar somewhere. Those of you at home, place it somewhere special in your home that you consider sacred. And then we light the candle for what? Specific Ashtanga tradition. Intention. So in Sanskrit we say sankalpa, which means to set some intention. Someone else might call it a prayer. Someone else might even call it a wish, before you blow out your candle, right? But it's something that sets intention that this year I want to bring more breath into my practice. This year I want to bring more mindfulness into my practice. This year, whatever your intention is, and again, it moves outside of the door. So Maybe it has to do with some aspect of your life that you really connect to your yoga practice, that you set some intention for. It's like a promise we make to ourselves, a commitment we make to ourselves. What is more important than that? You know, to stop in our tracks in our busy lives and make commitments to ourselves, you know. And then, of course, the puja thread is a tradition that's not only that was an Indian tradition, but also in other cultures, Japan, Buddhism uses a prayer thread, Judaism uses a prayer thread. So we have prayer threads today from Bali and from India, and my friend Chuseng Rinpoche, who one year he was coming from Nepal, and I reminded him, I said, Chuseng, please bring us new prayer thread. I'm running out of my Indian prayer thread. And he called me from New York and he said, I got the best prayer thread. I found it at this place called Michael's. So we always say, and I love that, you know, I love it so much because actually this particular prayer thread is from Michael's, I think. It's just cotton. It's just cotton that's been dyed red. It's just like this wedding ring is just a piece of metal, you know. But what's important about this metal is promises, right? So this is just a little thread I'm going to tie on your wrist, and you can make some promises that whenever you see it like the ring, it reminds you of the promises that you're going to make to yourself today. And also, you know, for me, when I tie this thread on you, I really feel like it's special to have a teacher-student relationship. You know, I'm just another traveler on the path with you, but there's something beautiful when we find that. We find the practice as our teacher, we find a person we trust. I'm so grateful for that. So I always kind of do my own like little special blessing when I tie it on you. So that is how we will complete our puja at the end of class, by doing a little ritual around this being a good time to stop in our tracks and be grateful for what we have and to set some intention for our next year together. We're going to be sweating. I'm going to be torturing you in very loving ways and moving through life using our mats. So we'll finish with the blessing I have for all of us here today. I'll say at the end of class as well, and then also our extended family. This is, again, I think it's something that a teacher kind of has this privilege to do, is to give a blessing. So this is me personally giving you wishes. Like, if I could light the candle for all of you, these are the wishes I would put in each of your candles for this. May the view of the vast blue ocean remind you of your infinite possibility. May the community raise your energy to support your highest potential. And may the sound of breath stir a deep connection to your soul and your calling. May the unique scent of incense bring you a peace knowing you are home, surrounded by love and support. May this practice be a light on your path. May the light you are brighten the path for others. May you feel surrounded by light and inspired by its illumination in all that you do. And may you always take the practice out of these doors and into the corners of your life, making the world a brighter place. And if you were here for last week, you'll understand the lightning bug. Thank you for being part of the light of our beautiful mangrove tree we call Shala. And I just get choked up when I say this part. It is a great honor to be a lightning bug on your path,